What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Recap video. Today's college and the NFL recap video will be out in 24 hours. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notified when that comes out. If you're new here, basically what happens, we have official plays here on the channel every week for college and for NFL. After the weekend's over, we do the recap video, aka today. We're going to pull up the slate. We're going to go over every game for the upcoming weekend. Obviously, in today's video, that will be college football. And then we update the whiteboard behind us with the previous official plays that we had over the weekend to keep our track record, to stay up to date. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We go over how we did and immediately look toward the next week. So I had a tough week. And I actually had a great day in NFL. The NFL, I'm going to save most of the NFL. I'm going to save the NFL information for the next video, for the NFL recap video. But we went 3-1 in NFL official plays, so doing really good in the NFL lately. I'm kind of losing a little bit of confidence with college. I mean, this previous weekend was really evident. Like, some teams are just like done, man. They're just tapped out. They just don't want to play anymore. The coaches are just like, fuck it. The scores, it doesn't seem as competitive anymore, so we really have to be careful, like, picking games that just get out of hand. The Arkansas game. So I gave out Arkansas this previous weekend, and I personally put it in a teaser as well, one of my bigger teasers. I usually do a personal bet every single week. I do a large teaser bet, and I'm like, Arkansas coming off the floor to win. Like, I'm going to take them just to, keep it within single digits. Maybe Auburn pulls the win off, but it should be a pretty competitive game. Arkansas, they need the win, right? If they want to go to a bowl, to get 6 wins, they need this one. They're off the floor to win. Auburn's not that impressive. It's a home game. Arkansas has lost their last 2 home games. They're not going to lose 3 in a row at home. And they get killed. So just one example of how, like, college football, it's kind of starting to unravel, and I think we need to tone it back and focus on NFL, because college is going to be over here in just a couple more weeks, and I think it's time to really put the focus on the NFL and really start kicking ass. So I feel great about the NFL. I feel so dialed in for the NFL and for the upcoming weeks. But hey, that information will be in some future videos. So let's get this out of the way. Let's update the whiteboard behind us. I kind of forgot here the exact bets we had, so let me just double check. I know we did have a losing week. We had a losing week despite 10 full weeks of hitting at a 62% winning rate. We got wrecked, and a lot of it was bullshit. Like, the Kansas quarterback, Jason Bean, injured right off the bat. We knew the over was toast. You could tell by how that game started, it was going to be over. Texas Tech scored right off the bat. Kansas was moving the football. That would have been a high-scoring game for sure. So we got screwed on that. Oregon, we had Oregon. Do you know in the fourth quarter, at one point in the fourth quarter, Oregon was like a 24.5-point favorite, like the live spread. And they just fucked around, missed a field goal, screwed around. USC, last-second touchdown when nothing matters. There was like a couple minutes left, just enough to cover the back door. So it was a really hard weekend, guys. I felt like those picks were good. The Oregon pick was great. I don't know how they didn't cover that. They just kept messing around. They were half asleep. They just refused to just shut the door. Why didn't they just shut the door on USC and just blow the game out? I don't understand. Especially down the stretch when you need to win with style points. Like, if you're a college football team or a playoff team, or you're a hopeful college football playoff team, you have to win with style points. If you have an opportunity to bury someone and really take them to the woodshed, you got to do it. So Oregon, that was surprising. So what do we have? We had Oregon minus 14.5. Texas Tech and Kansas over. Didn't hit that. I did give out Texas Tech against the spread. I said it would be an upset, so I was very accurate with the Texas Tech game. I know Kansas was a very big public play, and I got a lot of hate for calling for the Texas Tech upset. So is what it is there. Arkansas at home, just simply minus 2.5, or maybe it was minus 3, whatever I gave out. That didn't get there. And then I think there was one more game, right? I'm pretty sure we went 1-4. So let me just double check this real quick, and I'll just fast forward the video. Man, what was that? What was that last bet? What the heck was that last bet? That's so annoying. I'm going to have to speed this up. Fucking idiot. And it's 2.5 is the college playoff position. They have to win in impressive fashion. Oh, duh. And Penn State. Penn State was the other one. I don't know what's wrong with Penn State. So Penn State was the other one. I gave out Penn State plus what? Plus 4.5 or plus 4. That didn't get there either. I thought the coaching distraction, home field advantage for Penn State, offense that's a little better, good defense, Michigan being on a light schedule and untested. I wasn't sure Penn State would win the game. I thought they would, but I was pretty confident they could cover 4.5. I thought if anything, Michigan would get out of there with a field goal win. So Penn State at home couldn't cover. Arkansas at home couldn't cover. Oregon at home played around with their food, screwed that over, and then an injury screwed the over in the Texas Tech game, in the Kansas game. Man, I really felt like that could have been a 4-1. I feel good about those picks. Sometimes this happens, guys, and it's part of the game. And we're gonna take it on the chin, and we're gonna crush the last couple weeks. So have faith in me. Like I said, through 10 weeks, a pretty big sample size. It's not like we're here on week 3 and I'm like, look I have a couple winning bets. Like, no, through 10 weeks, we're hitting at 62% on my channel. The fact that I just had a bad week probably means you want to pay attention to this upcoming week. I can assure you it's going to be pretty impressive. I'm going to go hard this week. So with that being said, let's update the whiteboard with the 1-4 weekend. All right, so our winning percentage has dropped to 58% on college through 11 weeks. So still crushing it, still better than most. Let's get down to business. Let's pull up the slate. Let's start attacking. I save it for these videos, guys. I save my first impressions for these videos specifically. I've not looked at a single game. I'm excited. Please have some good games. I really need I had kind of a tough weekend myself personally. I kind of lost control of my bankroll management this weekend. Had a bad loss because of Derek Carr getting hurt today on Sunday. Chased my loss with the fucking night game like a dumbass. So I put myself in kind of a hole. It's really frustrating. I wiped out a couple weeks of profit. So yeah, let's hope this slate's a good one to attack. I'm not going to screw around this weekend. I mean business. This is going to be the real deal. I'm looking for a big weekend. I can feel it. It's coming. Toledo, Michigan, Boston College, Pittsburgh on Thursday. Not interested. Colorado, Washington State. Wow. I don't think we can do it. It's an away game. If it was at home, I'd be a little more tempted. The spread's 4.5. Initially, when I look at that, I want to take Colorado, but I can't do that. We're not doing that. Michigan goes to Maryland. I just can't do it. The spread's too big. 20.5 points. I'd lean Maryland, but I just can't do it. I'm not gonna step in the way of Michigan again. Okay, if you're gonna bet a Michigan game, either bet Michigan or don't bet the game. That's kind of how I'm looking at Michigan from now on, from here on out. So 20.5, road environment, a low total at 50. Maryland's kind of streaky. I'm not interested, guys. Let's pass that one. Rutgers and Penn State. It's tempting to take Penn State here on a bounce back because they're at home and Rutgers just got smoked by Iowa 22-0. But Penn State, I can't trust them to beat anybody by 20 points. And now that they have another loss, they're officially eliminated from the college football playoff. So how motivated are the Nittany Lions? I'm not sure. We're going to stay away from Penn State probably for the rest of the year. Michigan State, Indiana, garbage teams, Purdue at Northwestern. I mean, that's an ugly game, but the spread's 1.5. Northwestern off the win at Wisconsin. I think the momentum carries over. I like Northwestern over Purdue at home. You don't even have to screw with the 1.5. Northwestern minus 120 on the money line at home. I like it, but at this point in the season, I'm just not going to bet on Northwestern football. I'm just not going to do it. Ole Miss in a bounce back spot against a nobody. Can't trust him. Oklahoma goes to BYU. Now, Oklahoma killed West Virginia. But BYU, it's still a home game. They've lost a ton of games. 24.5 is just too big of a number. Can't do that either. I want to take Oklahoma, but I can't. I just can't do it. Maybe their team total over. Oklahoma team total over. That's not available yet, but maybe that's something to take a look at. By the way, guys, as always, man, load up that comment section. I need your help this week. I need a team effort here on the channel. Let's get this thing ripping. Let's turn those comments into some winners. Bounce some ideas off each other. Louisville and Miami. Again, I like Miami. They're a 2.5 point underdog right now. They're at home. I'm not a believer in Louisville, and it seems like it's an identical situation from the UCF game, right? I mean, Oklahoma State, 15th ranked team in the country, at UCF, and they're only favored 2.5. The writing was on the wall. I feel like it's the same thing here. Louisville, number 9 in the country, and now Miami the spread's only 2.5. I gotta write this one down, guys. Louisville minus 2.5 at Miami. God, I hate to put money on Miami, but this could be a decent spot to look at. I'm gonna write that down for now. What else? Utah and Arizona. Boy, that's a tough one too. That is a coin flip, isn't it? Arizona with a tight game over Colorado. Kind of half asleep in that one. Utah with a nice competitive effort against Washington, but came up short. But back-to-back road games for Utah. Arizona's won a bunch in a row. That's an interesting matchup. Utah is minus 1.5 on the road at Arizona. I think we're going to have to look where the public is betting this one. I'm tempted to rock with Arizona. They're a 1.5 point underdog at home, and I'm just not sure that's the right side to be favored. I'm kind of looking at Arizona here. What do you guys think about that? Arizona over Utah. I like that. Cincinnati goes to West Virginia. Interesting. Bounce back spot for the Mountaineers at home. Cincinnati, we know, is not that strong this year. I could go back to the Mountaineers here after the Oklahoma beatdown. Cincinnati plus 6.5. Games in Morgantown. I'm going to circle West Virginia for now. Keep an eye on that one. Duke and Virginia. That seems like that's sneaky. I don't want any part of that. Baylor and TCU. Boy, Baylor. Ugly year for Baylor. TCU, Spread's 12.5, though. That's weird. I'm not going to touch that game. Guys, this slate sucks. I'm looking at the time, so I'm already digging into the games that go off at 3:30 Eastern, and I got 3 written down, 3 circled. I don't love anything yet. There's nothing that's stood out, and it's like, that's the game. Hammer it. Like, none of that. I haven't seen it yet. UCLA plus 5.5 at USC. I mean, USC has just lost so many games. I don't want to go against them, but man, I'm tempted to take UCLA in the points. UCLA plus 5.5 at USC. But again, it's a road game. You got a team that's like overdue for a win. What do you do? I don't know if I want to risk it. I don't know. Here's one. Okay, this one's pretty good. Wake Forest plus 24.5. They're at Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's off a bye week. Let me double check that. Let me triple check real fast. Notre Dame. Where are you at? Okay, here's Notre Dame. Their last game was on November 4th. So Notre Dame did have a bye week, and they lost to Clemson the previous week. So they're off a loss. They had a bye week, and Wake Forest is terrible. 24.5. It's a big line. Again, it's a big line, but I like Notre Dame. I mean, NC State just beat Wake Forest 26-6, and it was at Wake Forest. But then you got games like, Wake Forest goes to Clemson, only loses by 5. They hung in there at Duke. I don't know. I'm kind of liking Notre Dame. I just 24.5. I wish it was like a 14.5 or something. I'd be all over it. I just don't know if I can quite get there. UNC and Clemson. Interesting. UNC plus 7 at Clemson. I don't like UCLA laying a lot of points. Or did I just say UCLA? I don't like UNC laying a bunch of points, but a full touchdown underdog here against a Clemson team that's not that great. I think I like UNC here. But again, ranked team on the road against Clemson. Why is Clemson favored a full touchdown? They could beat the snot out of them. I'm not sure. I'm going to circle UNC for now. Getting a full touchdown with that UNC offense, they should be able to be pretty competitive with Clemson. I'm thinking about taking the points there. NC State, Virginia Tech, no interest. Probably Virginia Tech at home. NC State's off the big Wake Forest blowout. I'm just not betting on them. Georgia, Tennessee. Georgia minus 10. They're at Tennessee. Boy, I think I like Georgia. I wasn't sure about Georgia in the Ole Miss game. I was really tempted to take Ole Miss in the points. But man, they're good. And Tennessee, I don't think we can trust that quarterback. I know it's at home. I know that's a big stadium. It holds, 105,000 people? We saw that place last year against Bama. It was rocking. The field was crazy. It's an unbelievable environment. Is that enough to overcome an offense that just can't keep up? They got killed by Missouri. And I think Georgia, knowing they're almost to the finish line here, I think Georgia means business. I think Georgia minus 10. I know it's a road game. I know it's a Tennessee. I know it's going to probably be a crazy environment. Maybe that's where College Game Day is this year. But 10 points is a reasonable number, and Georgia, they seem to be coming on strong. Tennessee did not look good against Mizzou. And I'll tell you what, I think Georgia can cover the number here. We're going to circle it for now. Georgia minus 10 over Tennessee. Oklahoma State, I don't want any part of them. I do feel like they're going to bounce back. Houston's not a good team, but it's a road game and the spread's over a touchdown. I can't trust them. They'll probably win the game, but I don't know about the cover. I can't do it. I just can't quite do it. Minnesota and Ohio State. What sticks out to me immediately is the under. I think I like the under. It's 48.5. But again, as we get closer to the college football playoff, you got to win with style points. If Ohio State gets off to if they get up 24-30 and the game just kind of falls apart, they could put their foot on the gas. They could they could score damn near 48 themselves if they want to. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to write it down for now. Minnesota, Ohio State game, the total to go under 48.5. Oregon to Arizona State, that seems like too many points. 22.5. They played with their food against USC. I don't trust them here. It's pathetic that they didn't cover the 14.5 at home over USC. That is absolutely pathetic. I'm pissed. I'm pissed about that loss, guys. It looked good the whole game. Freaking backdoor covered. Pathetic. I don't know. I don't trust them. Arizona State can be physical sometimes, but they also stink. It's just a weird game. What Arizona State team shows up, you know? Their season's toast, but the only thing they can do is ruin someone else's. New Mexico State, Auburn. Tempted to go Auburn there. They look very strong against Arkansas. Just can't trust them. Central Florida against Texas Tech. Here we go. I like this one. Here we go. Finally, this is like the first, like, I like this one. This is solid. Where'd it go? I think I scrolled past it. Central Florida is +3 at Texas Tech. I think I'm going Texas Tech first half here. Central Florida off of an absolute huge win at home. You beat the dirt out of Oklahoma State. Texas Tech they're coming on strong. They got their quarterback back. They've been looking better. They just beat Kansas. And I'll tell you what, the reason I say the first half is because I just don't trust Texas Tech to close out games. They collapse at the end of games like no other. The Wyoming game, the Oregon game, Kansas this previous weekend, it was pretty close at the end. I don't trust them to close out this game if it's close, even though it is at home. Maybe we do, but I think I like Texas Tech first half. The spread's only 3 for the game, so first half will be under a field goal. It'll probably be 2.5 or something. So I'm going to write down full game / first half against the spread, Texas Tech. Ooh, Kansas State and Kansas is this week. K-State -7.5. Wow. And it's at Kansas? Whoa. I mean, again, quarterback situation. What do we get? Is it Jason Bean? Will he be back? Is Daniels ever going to come back? Baller, their third stringer, he looks solid. But what do you get? What do you get out of them? I think Kansas State's a pretty solid team. But it's in Lawrence, Kansas. Kansas coming off a loss, bounce back spot for them. I'm tempted to take the points. I'm just going to kind of circle it for now and write a question mark next to it. Try to figure that one out. Florida, Missouri. Love this. Love this. Give me Missouri. Florida absolutely sucks. LSU's defense is so bad it makes my head spin. LSU should have killed Florida. Florida's trash. Look at Arkansas. Look how bad Arkansas is. And Arkansas beat Florida at Florida. Florida's going to get killed at Missouri. Give me Missouri. They're going to roll in this game. I like them. I don't care that the spread's 11.5. I like Missouri. I like that. That might be my favorite one I've come across yet, guys. Nebraska, Wisconsin, not interested. Washington at Oregon State. Holy cow. Game of the year. Game of the year. Alert. Red alert. Red alert. This is amazing. This is by a fucking mile the best game, guys. This is a home run. This is a slam dunk. This is a lock. This is the biggest lock I've ever seen in my life. Washington is -1.5 at Oregon State. Oh my God, this is so exciting. I'm gonna read this to you again. This is wild. Get ready for this. This is crazy. Washington is a 1.5 point favorite at Oregon State. Do you know where I'm going with this? Give me Oregon State in the upset. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oregon State at home is no joke. They've kind of underachieved. They're still 10 in the country. Physical team. Washington is not physical. This is a bad matchup for Washington. They're going to get after the quarterback. Penix is not going to have a huge day. Oregon State's going to run the ball all over them. I absolutely love Oregon State to beat Washington. Maybe this is a popular pick. Maybe you'll see it all over the internet and stuff. But it's Sunday night right now. I called it. This is easily an upset. Give me Oregon State to upset Washington. The wrong team is favored here. I can't believe it. It'll switch. It's got to switch. How can the odds makers screw this up? Maybe they purposely made Washington the favorite to try to like trick people to take the favorite. People are like, I don't know, Washington's still the favorite. I'll probably just ride with them, money line. Oregon State's winning that game. Georgia State and LSU. Georgia State and LSU, man. Georgia State plus 30.5 at LSU. I want to take LSU so bad, but their defense is so bad. I think it's going to be hard for them to cover 30.5 against anybody. I can't do it. I can't. I love LSU. I want to take them there. I think they could win by 50. I'm just not sure I can trust their defense to be able to cover 30.5. I just don't know if I can do it. Texas goes to Iowa State. There's a lot of games. I thought I was about done. Oh, I am about done. So this is the last one, guys. Texas is an 8.5 point favorite at Iowa State. I like Iowa State in the points. Just initially, gut feeling. Texas minus 8.5 at Iowa State. I think I like Iowa State here. I don't know. I have to look into that one. I'll just circle it for now. But there you go, guys. That's a whole slate. Today's video has been pretty long. We ended up circling a lot of stuff. The noon kickoff time, noon Eastern, the early time slot, pretty ugly. Nothing great. 3:30, pretty ugly. Midday, But boy, towards the end of the night, I like a lot of games here. I like Oregon State to beat Washington. I like Texas Tech over Central Florida at home. I think I like UNC over Clemson. I think I like Notre Dame over Wake. Yeah, there's some good stuff here, guys. There's some good opportunities. I think this is going to be a great week. Make sure you guys do drop a like on the video before you exit out. And again, my NFL recap video and first look at the NFL slate for this upcoming weekend, that'll be out here in just a matter of hours. So I'll see you guys in the next video.